What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to more trades. Hope all are doing well. Hope you benefited from these trade setups that you had, and you traded it to the upside or to the downside. That's how we do it on this channel. Hope you managed to do that. We're going to look at the charts. We're going to look at the numbers for starters. The numbers are coming in exactly 1 minute to see what's happening with the US economy. Basically, the numbers are projecting bullishness for the market. They're projecting that the forecast over here, as you can see, the forecasts of the core PPI month on month. Basically, the core PPI month on month is core finished goods PPI, source change series calculation formula. Food and energy prices make up about 40% of the overall PPI, which tends to mute the importance of the core data. It's the change in price of finished goods and services sold by producer, excluding food and energy. So basically, they're comparing the prices of this month compared to the last month to see how the economy is doing. They're expecting the numbers to go lower. So basically, if the numbers go lower, then that's good for the Fed. The Fed will be happy with that, and it will make people, investors, believe that the Fed may slow down on interest rates or may pivot. So we're waiting for these numbers. If they come out as forecasted, you can see the core PPI forecasted at 0.4. Last month it was at 0.5. Core retail sales month on month is change in the total value of sales at the retail level, excluding automobiles. Total value of sales. But if this number is greater than forecasted, then it's good for the currency. If it's lower than 0.1, negative 1, negative 0.1, if it goes to negative 0.2, then that will be bearish for the dollar. We also have the core retail sales month on month, Empire State Manufacturing, level of a diffusion index based on surveyed manufacturers in the New York State. You have the PPI month on month and the retail sales month on month, change in the total value of sales at the retail level. So it's showing that they're forecasting less retail sales, less people are buying. So that is good. The Fed will be happy with that, and it will make people feel like, okay, the Fed may pivot. Now I'm going to refresh this because I believe it's been 2 minutes. Okay, so the core PPI came out lower than expected. That's good for the markets. The core retail sales as forecasted. Wow, the Empire State Manufacturing Index is much lower. It's at negative 24.6 compared to the forecast of negative 7.9 and the previous month at negative 5.8. The PPI came out much lower than forecasted. Forecasted 0.3. It came out at negative 0.1. Retail sales is at negative 0.4, less than forecasted. Does that all in all should be good for the market. We can see Bitcoin reacting at the moment, trying to get that pump to the upside, and that big green candle over there, and we're at 25k. 25k has to break. We need to see if Bitcoin can break the 26.5, or is this just a liquidity run? Let's see. Levels to watch for at the moment. We're just at that horizontal range. We're breaking through. We have the value fixed range volume profile over here. Where is it? Why isn't it loading up? Let me get my fixed range volume profile of this entire upper range, and you can see we are bumping our head at the value area high. We sold off very hard over here, and we are right back at it. So we are reacting to the numbers. That might be a positive for Bitcoin. However, I would like to see a reaction on a smaller time frame before I decide on to enter, if I'm going to enter a short. For longs, we can see that we are reacting well. We are breaking the 50 EMA to the upside. Volume has increased. I have this green zone over here highlighted in this rectangle. This is basically a possible reversal between the 23,861 and the 22,214 if Bitcoin gets down there. Now we're getting rejected at that value area high. You can see we tried to break it over here and we didn't. We are above the 50 EMA, that is bullish, but we're getting rejected. We are above the daily open, so EMAs are pointing up slightly on the smaller time frame. If you go on the hourly, you just retrace that drop. So look at that. On the hourly, you had this drop, you just retraced back. Now, do we have any liquidity up there? We have liquidity that could take us all the way to 26.5. We have this zone over here, 25,683, and we have this close by, 25,466. Can Bitcoin push up? Are we going to see that push? It's failing at the value area high. Rejection on the 1 minute, green, red candle. Are we going to continue breaking down? Okay, let's see how it reacts. That's sort of breakdown. We haven't got a good breakdown yet, but to be fair, we are overextended, like to the upside. It's like what we did over here. We're not doing anything new. It's not like, oh, this is Bitcoin doing it for the first time. We kept on doing this for the past how long? We came up here, pulled back all the way down. We come up here, pull back halfway. Can we come up here now and pull back halfway again, possibly to the 23,400 zone, where I have this box over here? 23,400. 23,600 is a fixed range volume profile value area high of this entire range. Then I have this smaller fixed range volume profile of this range over here. Okay, I'm entering a short. I entered a short. I'm gonna set my stops. Let's see how it goes. If it goes down, okay. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out at break even. I entered the short already, but you need to keep in mind you're entering a short and you're above the POC. That is not the smartest thing to do. But essentially, when you lose a level of the fixed range volume profile, you are aiming for the next. So I'm aiming for the POC to see a reaction at 24,737. If I get there, then I will be having maybe 80. I'll be 80% in profit. Oh, we're getting there. We're breaking the POC. Can we break it? Yeah, that's 89% profit. Oh, Bitcoin, come on, show me something that I can make sense of. Okay, this is a rejection candle. Depending how it closes in the next 7 minutes, then it will give us more information. So if the next 7 minutes we close like this in a shooting star, like how we closed our daily candle over here yesterday, we kind of had a shooting star over here. We have a small wick, but we have a shooting star. This pattern is usually a reversal indication. This is on the daily, but you can see that we bounced up. The daily isn't over, the day isn't over, the candle can still close bearishly. We have the DXY. Let's look at the DXY. The DXY moved up today. Look at the daily for the DXY. We're just at that level again that I always have, the 104.305. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame. Put in this indicator. We have some levels of liquidity. Look at all that liquidity over here. Down here we have more liquidity. Now DXY on the 4-hourly, to be honest, I have to be honest, even though I think the DXY will go higher, but this was a strong move. Look at that impulsive. It would look like a third wave of another wave. So you could possibly say you had a 1, 2, and this was the beginning of a 3, and over here you had a 1, 2, and a 3, 4, and possibly a 5. That's an impulsive move down. But looking at the bigger picture, you have to look at the bigger picture. You're holding support previous high, and you're struggling to break the same ascending trend line. That was your resistance. You're struggling at that same resistance. So it's okay if you break it and test it, you will be getting a good bounce and probably come to these highs. And if DXY gets higher, that is a good thing, because you will get another chance to enter Bitcoin at lower prices. The Nasdaq has been red for the day. We are breaking below the POC of this entire down range, bottom range, that is from June 2022. So the Nasdaq essentially is looking a bit bearish, but mind you, this is pre-market. When the markets open, I want to ask you guys, is the volume clear? Is the music too loud? Let me know in the chat, please. So the Nasdaq over here is breaking the POC. Our POC, our fixed range volume profile, could take us all the way here. How is the volume? Is it clear or is it too loud? That's the Nasdaq. Our next level of interest for the Nasdaq is down all the way here. 11,000. No. Let's pull a fib over there and see our retracement. Let me adjust that to this low. Yeah, our Nasdaq, the Nasdaq came down to the 0.5 fib and bounced off. That is a beautiful retracement. But what I see for the Nasdaq, let's try and see this together. From this low here to this high, this pullback over here. We exceeded the 1-to-1 extension. That could be enough for a correction up. It looks very messy. We have these overlaps and edginess. That tells you it could be a correction. And then we could come down. If this is a correction, then essentially we could even come lower. Why is that? Because we could just be in a wave 4 coming down for a 5th. Now if we go on the daily for the Nasdaq, before we go to the rest of the crypto market, you can clearly see we were going down in 1, 2, 3, some sort of a 4, 5, and then a bigger 4 and a 5. We might have completed 5 wave move over here, but it's not looking really bullish. So if the Nasdaq is to be bullish, and say we completed, if Nasdaq is bearish and we completed a wave 1 down, the wave 2 could take you up to the 14,563 and you can still be in a bearish formation. That's a scary thing. You would come till the top over here and you wouldn't know that if you're still going to go down or go higher. Now let's go back to Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing? Let me look at the Dow Jones quickly. I just want to look at the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is a crazy, I consider it like an altcoin, but in the stock market, because it moves very volatile. It's down 600 points for the day, while the Nasdaq is down 189. You have the ES mini futures. We're breaking below that trend line that we had. We're trying to hold it, but we wick below it several times. Now going back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin trying to hold the 24,850. We have this point of control right over here, 24,736. If we can't hold that and we break down, then we are going to come at least, let me see this, 24,736. If we can't hold that, we're coming down to at least, again, retest the 23,969 or the 24K. Now I'll go through some different charts of Bitcoin. I want to show you some levels of confluence, and I want to take a look at some levels of confluence. Smaller time frames. The 15-minute is still closing like a shooting star. The candle closes in about 1 minute. Let's see. On this chart, this is the Coinbase chart. You have more data. You can see the price of Bitcoin is slightly different than the Binance chart or other exchanges, because Coinbase and the Bitstamp are USD chart, and we're The other charts I'm looking at are the USDT, and the USDT has depegged from the dollar, and the BUSD has depegged, so the prices will be off $100. But just looking at levels of confluence, I have nothing on this chart. However, my count remains the same till now. I believe we are in a wave 4. As you can see, I've had this for a long time, believing we're going to have a wave 5. How low will that 5 come down? Could it be a big 5th wave, or are you going to do something like this that we did over here? We did a truncated 5th. We had a 3rd, 4th, where was it? We had a 4th, we had a 3rd that ended here, and our 5th ended here, which was shorter than this 3rd. So the 5th wave doesn't have to go lower. Sometimes you get a truncated 5th. That could happen. We might come and form a higher low if we're going to go down. However, if we go up, I've given you those targets. I'll go through them again. I have 2 targets on the macro that I'm focusing on, and you can take a look at them. We have this zone over here. That is between the 27.3 and the 28.750, I believe. 28.780. Why do I have that zone? That's just a gap in the chart that we could fill. Now, down here, unfortunately, we came a few days ago, filled this gap that I was talking about, but in return, it was a weekend and we formed another gap at the same exact level. That's insane. Again, at 20K, we have another gap. So we are $3,000 from 28K, and we are $5,000 from 20K. It doesn't work like that. I know that. We also have lower gaps. Down at 9,000, I believe we have a gap. We don't have to fill every gap. It doesn't mean if we have a gap, we're going to fill it. I'm just letting you know that gaps are there. So don't be fooled with people that are just showing you that you have a gap at 28K. You have a gap at 28K. You even have a gap higher. You have a gap here at around 30. It starts at 34,000, goes up to 35,000. You have several gaps in the chart, but what I believe is if we get to the 28K, and at least if we're able to hold at a support, we might release to $31,000. 31,000 is a realistic target for me to the upside. We could get there. My trade is up 200%. Wow, that's so nice. I'm wondering if I should close the trade. I'm going to take profit over here. At least 25% of that will be a good trading strategy. Took off 25% off. My stops are still at break even. So I'll let this trade run in case Bitcoin decides to reverse. If Bitcoin doesn't decide to reverse and Bitcoin tanks, I'm in profit. Yeah, 221% to be exact. BTC dominance chart. When BTC dominance goes up, essentially the altcoins have a bad time. I wish I opened a trade in an altcoin. I didn't. I was trading Ajax. I think that's how you pronounce it, and I got stopped out. Now, I have many charts that I've been charting now for 2 years. These charts, and I have levels that I could watch. I have this level that's been respected. I've had this for a while. I haven't updated my charts in a while. And if we break below 24,679, that would be critical. It's a long-term support resistance. I can take you back and you can look left. Look how we struggle over here. We're wicking above. We don't stop exactly over there. That's not how charts and charting works. It's support. So it's more of a zone, but I just left it as a line. Over here, perfectly respected on this candle. You can see that. And if we go back in time, that's all the data I have on the Binance chart, unfortunately. Now let's go to another chart. I have the fib channels over here. We can have support and resistance on these channels. Now looking at this, the other day we had support over here, bounced off, wicked above this channel, and today we got rejected over there. So my next level of support in respect of Fibonacci channels, I'll be looking at this zone, 24,321. That's my next level I'm looking at. If I lose that, Then I'm coming down to this level. It won't happen in one day, say in the next couple of days. That will be at around 2280. We have levels before that to watch. I know you may say that we have so many levels. Yeah, you trade it level to level. You trade it level to level. I have this level over here, 22961, that is before 22k. I have fixed range volume profile levels that I watch. Look how we respected that line. You can't make this up. I had this line for ages. I can't show. I don't know where did I start it. It's a horizontal line, not a horizontal ray, so I don't know where did it start. But I've had it possibly from here, from 2022, and it's still playing out. Look how, I think I gave this level in one of my videos. Look how we bounced off it. 19692, we came as low as 19536. I mean, if you took that trade, that would be great. I didn't. I missed it. I can't watch all my charts, and I can't have all my charting or my analysis on one chart. It would be very messy. So I'm still looking if Bitcoin is going to give me that push down. It looks like Bitcoin is trying to reverse to the upside. We have broken down from the POC of that upper range. We're testing it now. Can we break through? Are we going to go all the way up and recover this wick? That is a high possibility. We could recover the entire wick only to continue lower. There. Let's see. Let's see if we're going to recover this wick. Volume is high on this rejection candle. And I would like to show you another thing that I use in trading. I use volume profile, and I sometimes use to see naked points of control. Those are points of control that haven't been tapped yet, and we do go back to them, and when we go to them we sometimes have a reaction, either a pump or a dump, and we have an NPOC down at this zone that I marked out at 22387. To the upside, I have an NPOC at around 27445, and it's around that gap that I was talking, the CME gap. I have an NPOC right over there. So it is very possible we pump to that 28 to 27, 28k, rejection, continue lower. It's very possible, but we have more NPOCs up to the 30k. We have this indicator. We can see how much tick volume, how much money has been exchanging hands in these candles, and we can compare and say how significant. You can see on this green candle, on this pump candle, we had significant tick volume. So many people trading on this candle at the highs. Now on this red candle is not as much, but but you can see that it's turning green now. Yeah, it's turning green. I took 25% profit. The markets may turn and stop me out. Let's see. Let's see how it plays out. 15-minute time frame. So if we are to recover this, we may recover the whole candle, the whole wick, or we may recover 50% of it. 50% of this candle is below my stop, so I should cross my fingers and hope that we just recover 50%. Hey baby whale, what's up? Good morning. It's good afternoon on my side of the world. Hope your trades are doing well. Hope your trades are doing well and are in good profits. It was a difficult one. Yeah, maybe I wouldn't get my suits out now. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel. That's all I ask for. Like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Looks like my trade is gonna get stopped out, but that's what we do. I'm in the Middle East, bro. In Bahrain, if you've heard of it. I'm not from Bahrain, but I am in Bahrain. Where are you now? Okay, we are recovering that candle. Now, let's look how far we'll recover. I said 50%. If it passes the 50, then I'll be concerned and I'll get stopped out. I was in some mad gains a few days ago when Bitcoin was dumping earlier, a few days ago, and it was insane. I eventually got stopped out yesterday. I believe the trade that messed it up for me was LQTY. I believe that's how the coin is called, Liquidity, LQTY. And I was telling people in the Discord that if you trade this, in one of my videos, that you should be careful. It's Texas. Interesting, bro. Down south, huh? I was telling my followers that be careful. This is a very low cap coin, 200 million market cap, and if it moves, it just moves randomly. And I was making mad gains. Unfortunately, I did not follow. I did not practice what I preach. I said always, especially on these low cap coins, always before you enter your trade, you have to have your stop loss set as soon as you enter. I did not do that. I did not realize that. Slept, woke up. It erased all my gains throughout the week. I had literally 10x my my capital. I 10x'd my capital in 10 days, 1 week to 10 days, trading EOS, trading LQTY, and I got erased totally. It's a lesson learned. I will consider that. I will take that like tuition fees. It's a lesson learned. I paid the price to learn a lesson. I hope I learned it. Always enter with a stop loss, especially when you enter these low cap coins. 7:55 a.m. Wow, early bird, huh? I woke up at 10 today, but I usually wake up. Some days of the week I wake up at 4:30 a.m. Some days I wake up at 4:30 p.m. depending on the day of the week. I prefer the nights, but this is a good time for me to stream. I'm glad I have 5 people in the stream. I don't usually have that many people, so I don't usually live stream. I hope the audio is clear. Everything is clear. Baby Whale, you were asking about Solana. Before we go to Solana, let's look at what Benjamin Franklin is doing. Benjamin Franklin is pumping up. We might see the dollar rocket. I mean, people are saying the dollar is going to crash. I understand their point, but the macro is inflation, tensions overseas. Doesn't look so good, but Bitcoin can do whatever it wants. I mean, you can see yesterday we disregarded everything that's going on around the world, and we went to that 26.5, which I had posted a video about 3 weeks ago. That was called Bitcoin 26.5. That was the title of the video, and it was 11 minutes. So yesterday when it hit 26.5, I said to myself, oh, let me look at my TA. Let me listen to my TA again. I realized, and I didn't delete the video, it's still there, you could check it out. I realized that I had recorded that video without audio. So it was 10 minutes of important TA that could give you a projection 3 weeks ahead of time, and there was no volume. Wow, so 2 a.m. to 12:30. Is it a long drive from Texas to Louisiana? How many hours is that drive? I haven't been to Texas. I've been to Seattle. I was there once. I had to go there for work. But I went there twice, actually, not once. I went there twice. Once I went there, I spent 5 days. Another time I went there, I spent about 11 to 12 days. It was winter. I enjoyed it. I went to Snoqualmie Falls. I went to the skiing. It's not a resort, but I guess it's a resort. A skiing place that I have over there. Three and a half hours. Wow. So 3.5 going, 3.5 hours coming. That's 7 hours. That's a long drive. That's 3.5 hours. I would say that's about 300 to 400 kilometers of a distance. Okay, thanks, man. I'll reduce the music. Actually, I'll turn it off. All right. Now let's go to Solana, and then we go back to look at the traditional markets. Well, I was talking about the PPI, the core price index, and the rest of the indicators that came out today, and we saw that these indicators, did they call them indicators? The numbers showed that bullishness for the market. It wasn't good for the dollar. So it was good for the market. So did Bitcoin move in anticipation of the forecast? Actually, the numbers came out much better than forecasted, in the sense they were not good for the dollar. They're good for the markets. As you see, the forecast was 0.4. It's at 0, the core PPI month on month. That is the change in price of finished goods. So the change in price of finished goods, excluding food and energy, did not change from last month. So that's good for the retail people who are buying goods, as it says. All right. So we have the retail numbers that show that the prices are slightly maintained, but that these numbers essentially will give the Fed an indication whether they need to tighten or hike rates. Now, there are three things playing here. The Fed has said that we're gonna increase. Jerome Powell said that we're gonna increase interest rates. We're gonna hike even in a faster pace. He didn't say we're gonna hike 0.5 basis point, 50 basis points, or 50 basis points or 25 basis points. He's saying we're going to do it much faster in shorter intervals. Another thing, the banks, as Baby Whale says, there are more banks. I read an article somewhere, I'm not sure if it was Goldman Sachs or I saw it in the news. There are more banks coming along the way that are going to be in trouble, just like Silvergate, like Silicon Valley. There are more banks on the way. So don't think it's all blue skies ahead. There are more banks away. And I believe we have another leg. I agree with you, Baby Whale. I was just showing a chart that I created that chart months and months ago, maybe when we were at, I can't remember when. I'll show you the chart. It was an Elliott wave count. I did it using Fibonacci, trend-based Fibonacci. So it's more or less accurate as far as I know Elliott wave. I'm not an elitician, but I know some of it. And these numbers, the third issue is these numbers are showing that, hey, Mr. Jerome, the markets are not doing good for the dollar. This is not good for the dollar. This is good news for the retail. Now, change in the total value of sales. Nothing happened there. This is the level of diffusion index based on surveyed manufacturing in New York. So it's a leading indicator of economic health. So it came out very negative, much less than forecast. Change in the price of finished goods and services sold by producers. The price of goods and services have gone down. So this may tell Jerome Powell, hey, things are not getting that expensive and difficult for the people of America. We need to make it more difficult so inflation can go down. Change in the total value of sales at the retail level. It came even lower. So does that mean the amount of goods being sold are less? Change in the total value of sales at the retail level. The total value. So the price essentially hasn't gone up. It went down. That's what I understand. So these, as far as I didn't understand, they might be a bad indication that Jerome Powell come 21st or 22nd. We have that Fed rate coming up in on the 22nd, federal funds rate. Oh, that's going to be an interesting day. I wish I didn't have to go to work on this day. But yeah, on that day, we're going to have the Fed funds rate announced, and Jerome Powell will take a decision according to this core PPI and core CPI. Okay, sorry, Baby Whale. I'm here in Solana. Solana has been on a downtrend. Yeah, the macro is a downtrend. I was waiting. See the psychology of a trader. or the greed. You always wait for lower. We were here. I was watching Solana down here. I had these levels before Solana got down here. I had it before Solana got to $9 or $8. It was the value area low, somewhere around here. And it was a fib level. Now I knew this descending channel could break to the upside. And that's what Solana did. We had a descending channel and we broke to the downside, fake out, pump to the upside, and continued higher. Now when we were yeah, for a holder like you, a person who just DCAs in, doesn't matter. I mean, my son wants to buy Solana, so I tell him, you want to buy Solana? Are you ready for the drawdown? If you're going to buy at $20, are you ready for Solana to go to $13? Because I've said it more than once. It is very likely we could go down to the $11.99 for Solana and still be in a bull trend. We could still be in a bull trend. If this move up was a wave 1, let me mark it out correctly. If this move up, baby whale, was a move 1, our wave 2 can come down to the 0.618 or even the 0.786 and still be valid. It's only after we break the 11.983 that we have a problem, once we get to the 0.887. But we could come as low as this level. Let me put a label here, 11.981 or 983, and still be bullish. So I tell my son, are you ready for the drawdown? If you are a believer in Solana, you are a holder, long time holder, then it doesn't matter. Solana is down from $200+. I mean, how much was it? Solana was at 259 or 263 and we're down at $20. That's 90% discount. You would buy shoes at 90% discount, or would you wait the next day? I mean, it doesn't matter. For a holder, you can buy any day. XTZ, we'll take a look at that, bro. We'll take a look at that, brother. What exchange do you want to look at it at? USDT, XTD, USDT. What exchange would you like to look at it? XTZ. We got Binance, Qcoin, Kraken, BingX, Polynex. I think I'll go with Binance. If that's fine, we'll go with Binance. Coinbase, okay, I agree. Coinbase has more data, so it's USD, not USDT. There we go. XTZ, Coinbase. I've never looked at this. Interesting. Oh, it looks like Bitcoin, huh? Look at that. Exactly like Bitcoin. We even have the truncated fifth wave, do we? We had a third wave. The fifth wave came lower. Unlike Bitcoin. Okay. Wow, there's this coin isn't a new coin, huh? 2017. Okay, so yeah, the charts are a bit different, baby whale. Depends what exchange we look at. I mean, for now, the charts are off by $100 to $300. When you look at charts, USD pairs, they're off by $100 to $300 compared to USDT pairs because of the USDT depegged. So the charting will be different. You might see something different. But overall, the long-term view. The scary thing about coins like this, I'll tell you why. The levels that I have here, this if I say this was just a minute, XTZ Bitstamp. Let me see if I have a Bitstamp chart that we have more data somewhere. XTZ USD. I guess Coinbase is the most data I have here. Okay, so XTZ over here, when assets move. Now I'm talking about long term, but it doesn't mean you can't exploit it short term, buy and sell. You entered 99 cents. Nice. Okay, so you entered down here or somewhere down here. Now I'm taking it from this point and I want to retrace all the way to the highs. This is something you could do. You take it from the lowest of the coin and you look at the coin. How far has it retraced from its lowest low? So if you are in a big bull run, you would want a 1, 2 and a continuation. Now, for this coin, we are below the 0.887. So that isn't really good when you're below the 0.887. I've seen Solana get there and it recovered, but essentially when you're below this, it's telling you that bounce is not really probable. You've overextended the probability for a wave 2. So you had a 1, assuming this is going to be a correction and a next pump up. You've exceeded it by going to the 0.887, sorry. Now, this move down for this wave, I'm gonna go on the 4 hourly so I can see what's happening over here. We kind of have, no we don't. I thought we had an inverse head and shoulder fixed range volume profile for this range. Actually, for this entire range, let's put it back. I like this entire range as it's an ascending something, an ascending channel, or it was an ascending triangle. So if I was wanting to enter into this, if I wanted to enter into this, we broke in trend. Okay, we broke the downtrend, just like the S&P. There is a possibility of retesting the value area low over here. Value area low is very possible, or even this is on the 4 hourly, or even 1.037. So you entered at 0.99, you're doing very fine. Your entry essentially would be just a minute. I want to see something. This move up could be a 5-wave move completed. Well, see, when I use to trade, if you're a long time holder, then you should be interested in longer time frames, bigger time frames, dailies, weeklies, monthlies. You could even look at 4 hourlies for reactions. But as a trader, then you need to look at, I look at the bigger picture. Then I like to see the indicators on 4 hour and 1 hour time frame. My sweet spot is the 15-minute, but I could go as low as the 1 minute. So basically, because I'm a trader, I go to lower time frames. What you're doing here on this asset, essentially, if you had moved up over here in a wave up, then you came down to the golden pocket. You could see you held it nicely. 0.618 to 0.65 golden pocket, bouncing off, and a possible double bottom, though I don't like it. You have this double bottom over here that could take you a bit higher, but if Bitcoin has one more low, then you should expect everything else tanking with it. So we had a rise, a drop, a rise, a drop. Possibly we are for starters, we have resistance over here. You could see it clearly over here. This candle is our resistance at around 1.223. We're struggling there. A break of 1.223 could take you as high as, this is the 4 hourly, so levels are not very segregated. The candles, you can't see much, but yeah, if you are to bounce here, your next resistance could be at 1.3 and 1.338, 1.312, 1.338. You're a bag holder for that. Okay, so if you are a bag holder, then you have no problem with what price you just average down. But this level for you is a level you should watching to break through, and a level you wouldn't want to lose is a 0.998. This zone is a zone you don't want to lose. As long as you don't lose this zone, then you're fine. But once you lose that zone, then it's gonna be bad if you lose that zone. I want to go back at Bitcoin for a second. I can see that Bitcoin is making some moves. But let me see, did my trade get stopped out? It was at 200%. Let me see. Oh yeah, I got stopped out. That's it. But I am gonna re-enter now. Let me see the candles. Okay, EMAs are pointing up. Another retest of the value area high. I will do the same thing. I will trade it until it breaks. As long as it's not broken, I'm not gonna stop. So basically, on the 1 minute time frame, I like to look at the 1 minute because you see the reaction faster than the daily. Obviously, on the daily, it will take forever for you to see the reaction. But on the 1 minute time frame, if you want to see a rejection, there we got it. We touched it, 25.75. We got a rejection. I'm in again, and a stop loss in case it pumps. It looks like it wants to pump. For starters, let me make something clear. We didn't get a clear rejection here. No wick. We could still push up. There's no wick over there. I'm setting my stop loss right at entry because I did not get a rejection wick even on the 1 minute time frame. So that tells me the rejection was weak and this candle is weak. It's not turning into a vector candle. So as long as even on the 1 minute time frame we're holding the 50 EMA, that is bullish. There is a chance Bitcoin may come and break those highs. 25.2, and then we'll be looking at 25.5, 26, 26.5. Bitcoin could come, the average daily range for Bitcoin today is up to the 25.857. The normal average daily range calculated 25.857. I'll mark that in red. Yeah, Bitcoin's gonna mess with me. We're going down, going again for the value area high. Bounced off the POC in the previous hour, see? Did I miss that? How low did that go? I think I missed that while I was looking at other charts. Let me see, when did we go down there? Yeah, we went there when I was 15 minutes into the stream. Okay, now going back to XTZ, brother. XTZ. 4 hourly time frame. Look at your EMAs. For starters, you are curling down, so I would expect at least that 1.125, which I said is a zone you should watch. The 1.125. That will be a retracement halfway through this candle, this green candle, which is liquidity essentially. If you can hold today the daily open now is at, let's look at the hourly. Your daily open is over here. You're struggling at your daily open, so essentially you're looking weak for the day at the moment. You want to gain that daily open again. So when you're trading and you're below the daily open, that's not good for your trade. I mean, if you're for the price, as long as you're below the daily open, then you're bearish. Above the daily open, you could be bullish. Now 15 minute, you're below the 50 EMA. So if I was trading this, I would see I see a drop and then a retest and a rejection again. So that is not a good thing. That is not a good thing for the asset that I'm trading. It seems I'm having a bit of issues with my stream. I think it's a bit laggy. The stream is a bit laggy. Now going back to Bitcoin, just a minute. Is there any lag on the stream? How is the stream? Is the stream going well? I see a bit of lag. Bitcoin looks like we might be having that rotation to the upside. Unfortunately, it's a treacherous day. We have pushed down, pushed up, and again, see that? We'll come and recover the entire candle only to reverse when we're done. And you see the pullback. Bitcoin is messing with us today. What is the DXY doing? It's pulling back ever so slightly at resistance. There you go. We're struggling at this resistance of 104.30. The traditionals are red, but they're pulling up. Remember at the beginning of the stream, the Dow Jones was at minus negative 600 points, but we're pulling back up. So it might be a good thing. The S&P 500 mini futures, we're still struggling at that trend line. Let's see if we've broken down the trend line, so that's not looking good. That is a long-term trend line that we broke. It's very bad for the S&P 500. Now you need to be careful with these assets. They're very, very volatile. I think the markets are opening now. So if I were you, if I'm getting into a trade, I would be very careful with my stop losses. I'll make sure my stop losses are tight on the dollar. I mean on the assets. Now, the assets look very bearish. Look at that. Look at the Nasdaq. What is that? R-Weave. We'll take a look at R-Weave. R-Weave, what's up, Marcus? Marcus Planetzer, welcome to the stream. R-Weave, let's look at R-Weave. R-Weave. Qcoin, yeah. Let's see if there's a Coinbase or Bitstamp. Let's go with this chart. Okay, all right. Thanks, bro. Thanks, Baby Whale. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. It's my pleasure doing this. As long as I get people like you coming into the streams, I'll keep doing it. Really appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, please hit the likes. Safe journey, my brother. Safe journey back, man. Have a good day, a good evening. So Marcus, R-Weave. Let's look at R-Weave. R-Weave today, we have, let's look at the retrace that we had. Oh, nice, Marcus. Sydney, I've been there. I used to live there. I used to live in Brisbane, actually. Enjoy Sydney. I didn't live in Sydney, but I've been there a few times, transited, spent one night there, but I was in Brisbane for for about 2 years. And I was in Adelaide for about 4 months. Sydney is a lovely place. Australians are very nice people. I still have someone of my family that lives there. Australians are very nice people, very charming people. I can say that about them. All right, now you've bounced from the 0.887, reclaimed the 0.786. You're struggling at the 0.618 for R-Weave. What I like to see R-Weave to do, I'd really like, if I was having this coin, after this bounce, I would like it to come up, retest from above the $9 range. See, it's also this level over here, a horizontal resistance support. That's why you're struggling, and slowly edge up. Then you'll come up, reclaim this level, another horizontal, step by step, and continue higher. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, Australians are very nice people. I hope you guys are enjoying it over there. Austrians are nice. I had My sisters studied in Austria. They enjoyed it. I would love to go there. I haven't been there. But yeah, Australia, amazing. Brisbane, sunshine states. I think Brisbane is so much better than anywhere in Australia. But I can't judge it. I haven't been to the rest of Australia, but just because the weather was amazing. The weather was like back home. It's in summer it's hot. Well, it's opposite to the world. When it's winter, the rest of the world is summer over there. Now, Arweave. Now, you rotate it from here. Essentially, what do I see for Arweave? This move down, you had a one wave down from up here to here, and a two wave. And possibly your third wave stopped over here. Actually, you had an extended third. You had an extended third. And you possibly had something like this. This is what I see just roughly. You had a 1, 2. Your third came all the way here. You had a 4, and this was your fifth wave. Now this can be an impulse down. It can be a correction. I see a head and shoulders as well. It's not a smooth head and shoulders, but it is some sort of triple top. A head and shoulders is just a triple top. Over here, you have, I don't know how to call this a shoulder, but yeah, you have one. I'll draw it like this. Let me show you what I'm looking at. You have this, you have this, you have this. Could that play out? More times it plays out more than not. But if I look at this, I'll show you the bullish scenario and the bearish scenario. This is the bearish scenario. You broke the trend line, you broke the neckline, and now you're coming down. The measured move for that would be, where's the settings for that? Let me remove that. Your measured move would take you at the break of the neckline, could take you all the way to 3.963. That is very bearish. Something very bad should happen for this to go down by another 60%. But now let's look at the bullish count. I'll look at it in a second. Sorry. The bullish scenario is that you rotated, right? You're rotating now. You could have a pullback over here. You could be starting something over here. But the volume is dying as you move up. That is not a bullish indication. As volume dies as you move up, that means momentum is getting slower. You're losing volume in the market. Now what could happen over here? Suppose you retrace. Your next zone for a possible bounce is down here at the $7 range. You have this zone between the 7.8 and 7.7. That is your next zone for a bounce. And if you bounce from there, where could you go? Now you could go as high as, now let's look at that. If this is over and we come down all the way here to the $7, your target would be, this is your hopium target, $10, between the $10 and $11.8. If this is the rotation to the upside, is it? I don't know, but it could be the rotation to the upside. Now I want to measure and see if we're done here. We could be done. We could have had a 1 to the upside and came down in a 2 and went up in a 3, came down in a 4, and our fifth wave might not be done if this is a 5-wave move up. Take it from down here to this peak. Yeah, we retraced. We haven't gone to the 0.5 fib retracement from the low here to this high. If I say that's a wave 3, it doesn't look very pretty. It looks like a diagonal, and it could be still in continuation of a correction. It could be just a correction up. you haven't had a nice move up. As long as you maintain the 7.8, you're fine. That's your zone, that's your invalidation, that's what you should be watching, the 7.8. Now going back to Bitcoin, over here, what is Bitcoin doing? It's driving me crazy. Again, rejected from the value area high. I want to see if this candle has juice to follow through. Possibly break the POC to go to the downside. Why do I want it to go to the downside? Is because I'm short. I have this level 24,736. I should watch the daily. The daily open would be significant. Next 15-minute candle is opening. It's not breaking down. Well, to be fair, we are in a range for Bitcoin, guys. Lovely range, tradable range. We've been here, so we can say we had the first touch here, second touch here, third touch over here. I won't count this. This was a freak breakdown. I can put in a parallel channel so you can see it clearly. I'll put this here. And I'll go to the highs. So we had this high, or even this high, it's more respected, the value area high. So it's between the value area high and 24,300. So you could trade this as a range. You could trade it, short the highs, take some profit at the point of control, which would be the mid of the range, somewhere around the mid of the range here. Over here is the mid of the range. The point of control is slightly above it. So 24.7 is a point to take some profit. And at the low, 24.3, you long. How do you know if you should long? Simple. You go to the smaller time frame, 1 minute. We came once, wicked. We came second time, wicked. We came third time over here, wicked. So essentially you would have opened a long here and have your stop slightly below. I mean, look at that. The line, the bottom of the range, 24,316. It came as low as the 24,269. So if you had $100 of a stop loss, you would be fine. So don't go over leverage or very high position, very large position, because you will get wrecked. Trust me. You will be lucky once, twice, but you could get wrecked. I understand that some people have smaller accounts and cannot trade on low leverage. Some people have small accounts and cannot trade on low leverage. So sometimes you need to go to high leverage. Some people have $50 as their capital or their margin to start with, and you cannot afford to just go in a trade with $5. How long will you need to wait until the trade gives you your $5 back? That's why there is leverage. But always use a stop loss. So how to make the best of it? You only have a $50 account, or you have a $100 account. Go in a $20 trade. That's a big position. If you speak to people who trade, they'll tell you 20% of your margin is a big risk to go in. But you enter at the highest probable points. Yesterday was a very high probable point to enter a short. Unfortunately, I didn't enter at the high. The high was at 26.5, even though I predicted it, but I did not have any set orders. I entered at 26.70 possibly, and I took that trade down and I wrote it down, and I had to go to sleep, so I had to put a stop loss to secure some profit. My stop loss was hit and I was out of that trade. Of course, you could make your stop loss set, and so you can get partially closed off the position, but I took my whole position out. And today I entered another position, took 25% profit, got stopped out, and now I entered another position, and I'm waiting to see how will it play out. How is the volume? How is the music? Is the music too loud? Is the volume too loud? How is the chart? Are the numbers too small? Let me know, guys. Let me know, whoever's in the chat. I will just fix that. And if you have any coins you want me to go through, just let me know. I would like to go through Quant because I've done charting on Quant for years now. Quant has been respecting my TA. We were here. Of course, it respects the TA until it doesn't, but we were in this channel, and I gave this in advance, and I told you the next level is 131, and we hit that yesterday. There. If you were watching my updates on Quant and you were listening, you would know we have horizontal resistance and the top of the range. Why do I have that resistance over there? It's possibly a fib level that I had. Maybe I had a retracement from up here, possibly. Let's see. Actually, the 131, I think I've had it for a long time, but there you go. 0.618 is at 131 and 0.65 at 133. So we had a level there. And if you were watching, you would know that's a place to short. Now, what's happening here is more bearish, is that we got accepted back into the downtrend. How many touches do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Usually you have 5 touches, then you have a breakout or breakdown. So I expect a breakdown for Quant. I might be wrong. However, my eyes are still there on upper targets. I am aware of my upper targets. I'm not trading blindly and just I'm a perma bear or perma bull. I have my targets. I watch and see how we react there. For starters, that's why I have the 131 value area high, 0.618 Fibonacci, and the top of the descending channel. You have 3 confluences. If you drop down, you have your POC very close to the mid of the channel, and let's pull a fib out there and see where do we land. You have the 0.5 fib over here. The 618 is at the mid of the channel. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. If I come down to the 115, 116, I will be looking, oh, it's nice for a long, but I'm not longing this. But yeah, for someone who wants to trade it or buy it, 114 is a strong support resistance. I've had it for a while. You have it there. 101 as well. You can see we had so many touches here. This is on the 4 hourly, so many here, so many here. And if we come down, we may bounce. If we lose it, then we might be coming to the $100 range for Solana, Quant, sorry. Litecoin, same thing, very old chart. 73, 85, 95. Those are my levels. And as you can see, I was talking about 85 somewhere around here. It was in December probably. And we bounced. We were here probably. We got to the 85 and I was giving the 95. And these targets over here, 99 and 97, were probably fib extensions I had. Unfortunately, I did not label what are they. But for now, my resistance is 85. If Solana can reclaim Solana again, I don't know why I keep saying Solana, probably because of Baby Whale. He brainwashed my mind. All I'm thinking about is Solana, 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 and my son is talking about Solana. Anyways, if I can get above the 85, I don't like this, but I've seen it played out where you have a pump, a consolidation that forms a rounding top, and then we take away the whole pump. Now I'm going to look at it in other charts and see what does it do usually. Now Litecoin, if it can creep above the 85, we can clearly go to the 95 zone. That depends. We were depending on the data today, but the data just shot the markets up, shut the markets down. Now again, Marcus, if you're still in the chat, God bless you and your wife and your son. Enjoy your holiday, man. Now, this formation that I see, I've seen it so many times. It's on Bitcoin as well. What is Bitcoin doing after that formation? We can see what Bitcoin has done. Bitcoin has pumped 50% up after that to reclaim that dump. Now Litecoin, has it reclaimed? Yeah, we reclaimed about 50% of this. You could see that, and we're dropping lower. Now this could be a 1, 2, 3 to the downside. Even though we might not like to say that, but I'll tell you as it is. We retrace to the 0.618 almost. That could be a 1, 2. This is ABC, could be an A with a B and a C. I mean, it could be anything, but volume going down. Let's see. Is volume increased on the way down? Has volume increased? On the way up, this entire pump up here to above $88, volume was decreasing. Then we got a big volume with the down move, and volume was decreasing again. Now as we started moving down again, volume is increasing. So I am seeing this as a possible impulse to the downside. Again, we have some sort of a triple top, like a obscure head and shoulders. We have this wicking up, which is not looking good. It's not really good when price starts wicking up. And if I pull up my indicator and look over here, rejection of the 50 EMA. Now that is one indicator. Another indicator gave me a short signal over here at 11, about how many hours ago? Possibly about 6 hours ago. I got a short signal. I wasn't watching this chart. I'm mainly focused on Bitcoin at the moment because I believe Bitcoin will move the rest. And sometimes when Bitcoin dumps, some of these alts pump. So this is what happens when we have a big pump, or it could be also a big dump, but I'll talk about it in the sense of pump. When we're pumping big time on alts, some alts, not all of them, while the rest of the market is dumping, I usually look for a short, and that's how I exploited EOS. That's how I exploited all the coins. I look for a short when we're pumping like crazy, especially when the rest of the market is dumping. So you could use a simple strategy. What I do is, it's so simple. It's not even complicated. I mean, you don't have to complicate trading. I go to my app and I look at my Binance app, and say it's a dumpy day or a sideways action for Bitcoin, and I go to my heat map on the Binance app and I try to find what coins are exploding, pumping like crazy today. And I would find 2 or 3 coins that are pumping, and I go into the charts on TradingView and I look at my charts. Okay, for instance, right now Bitcoin is dumping. I would go to my heat map, and then I'm doing it as I speak to you guys on my phone. I can see that despite all this, Mask is up 21%, Ajax is up 20%, but that doesn't mean they didn't dump. Possibly they dumped, they erased some of their gains. So I go back to Ajax. I have the chart here because I was trading it. Ajax and Mask. I was trading Mask a while back. I haven't traded it for a bit, but Ajax is right over here, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. Okay, Ajax is up 20%, but it has made the move down already, so that isn't what I'm looking for. I'm looking for coins that didn't make their move down yet and are pumping. So a few days back we had EOS doing that. We had other coins that I added on the chart. So now for EOS, example EOS, I'm looking at one level. If we get there, then I am definitely shorting it. I have my alert set and I'm waiting for it. Unfortunately, it did not give me that. The 1.3, did it give me that? Why didn't my alert go off? Why did my Binance Cami alert didn't go off? Let's look. EOS, where's my line? Let it load up. How high was this? We didn't get there. My line is up here. Sorry, man. I was cursing at Binance. I was wrong. 1.305 and 1.362. I'm looking at the 1.305 to enter a short. Why? Because I shorted it from there before. And why did I short it from there? Let's see. Why did I just short it from there? That was a point I shorted. It was my value area high. My value volume profile moved. However, I will just keep it for now at 1.305 because I might have liquidity up there. Any liquidity, no liquidity up there, but it is one of the week's highs. I will just keep it there. It wasn't a weekly high, but it was a level that is high probable short trade. That is to the upside. We had an M formation over here. You could do this on any chart. This is on EOS. And you pull a trend line from the shortest peak of the M formation, not the longest, the shortest. You take it down to the tip of the M at the bottom, and you bring the line and put it at the tip of the bottom. That will give you your target. And I have it here. Look at that, double top target. For some reason I got stopped out, or I closed my trade. I can't remember. I took profit. Oh, I had this line already. Why did I redraw it? Anyways, I took my trade and I closed it for some reason. I don't understand why. I can't remember why. It happens sometimes. Maybe the market was showing me it's going to be bullish and I got scared and I came out of my trade. But I have the target. I know that EOS is coming to the 0.825. You can almost guarantee it. 0.825, put that in green. That is my bounce zone. Preceded by the POC. I have the line 0.934. The POC is followed by the value area row 0.874. This zone, I can draw a box and say this zone is my next bounce zone for the EOS. If EOS fails at this zone, where you can see the POC where we bounced once, twice, literally the wicks of these 4 hourly candles literally just kissed it and bounced off. If we fail there, then I can tell you EOS is coming much lower, because we might have finished the wave 4 and we're doing some sort of a 1 2 3 4 5 to the downside, which is a weird looking wave. But we might had a 1 2, this whole thing with a third, and we're moving up in a fourth. And even if I take a fib level, I can almost guarantee you, because it looks like what Bitcoin was doing when it hit that when Bitcoin first hit 17.5, I believe. We were looking at it and it continued like that. If you look at the Bitcoin chart and you go back, you can see that possibly the wave 3 ended here. Perfect. Look at that. 1.618. Not perfect. Of course, we went lower. The charts don't go according to what we want. But we can say, okay, now I know where did my wave 3 possibly end. At the 1.618 extension, I can measure my wave 4 and confirm, did my wave 4 retrace 50 between the 0.236 and 0.5 fib of this wave 3 that started over here all the way down. Let's go. We retraced 0.5 perfectly. You can't make this up. Look at that, 0.5. Now 0.5 fib. Now I know where my wave 4 is. I can project where my wave 5 is gonna end. What I do is I take the length of wave 1 that was up here and go to the bottom of the wave 1 and bring it to the tip, the peak of the assumed wave 4. Because if wave 4 exceeds a 0.5 and goes into the 0.618, it would no longer be a wave 4. Now I'll tell you if this does something, what would the bullish target be. Now for wave 5, taking the measure, we could come as low as, we are bouncing off the 0.618 extension, we could come as low as, unfortunately, 0.737, Boeing 737, the aircraft, or even if it's very much extended. But we had an extended wave 3, I don't expect an extended wave 5. So it could go between the 0.737 to the 0.362, but I'll keep it moderate and say the 0.739 is a good target for a wave 5. Now I can go into the micro count. Now I'll tell you something. If EOS rotates, you see I entered that trade, I shouldn't have closed it, but if EOS is able to break above, I entered the trade perfectly at the 0.5 retracement for a wave 4. That would be the most perfect trade. I mean, it's not the most perfect because you're trading a wave 5, and a wave 5 is treacherous and doesn't give you much, doesn't have to do much, doesn't have to go lower than the wave 3. It can be a truncated fifth, as we saw in Bitcoin when we dumped in 2021. But if the EOS can come above the 1.45 and hold, then this bearish count is over, and it could be in a different thing. It could be in a it could be in a bigger, it could go up there and it would be a 1 2 and a bigger 3 to the downside. Yeah, I mean, this correction that EOS had, how much has it retraced of the overall movement from the upside? I mean, it hasn't retraced much. It could still move higher in a wave 4. It could still move higher and be bearish. We could still move higher and do what Bitcoin did. Bitcoin did this first. Bitcoin came down, went up again, dumped again, and we went to 26.5 and we're moving down. How low will we go? We are in the middle of a range for EOS. I mean, if you're looking at, this is a daily chart, but if you are trading on the 1 minute, you wouldn't open a trade in the middle of the range. You would wait for the bottom of the range at 0.934 or 0.874, depending if you're looking at the POC or value area low. You are at the bottom of the range. Let me just show you this range. The bottom of the range is this value area low at 0.874. The top of the range is at 1.29288. I would love the 1.30. And essentially the mid of the range would be somewhere around here, the 1.063. So opening a trade here isn't the smartest thing, because if you went short over here, you see you got stopped out. It's not the smartest thing to do. Now, Bitcoin is being treacherous today. I'm very upset with you, BTC. You're not giving me what I want. I keep opening trades, you keep fooling me, you keep going lower. I want lower, I get greedy and want lower and lower, but you're refusing to give me that low. We are in a horizontal range. 24,316 is the bottom and 25.89 is the top. You could trade the range until it breaks. And it's also the mid of the range is about there, the POC. And the top of the range is also a value area high. So you could trade the range until it breaks. You could short it at the top with a stop loss, long it at the bottom with a stop loss. Don't trade the middle. The middle is a take profit zone if you want to. Depending on your position size, if you're trading very small amounts, then you wouldn't want to just take out a small profit, right? Unless you want to grow your portfolio and you're patient, you can grow it slowly, $5 by $5. I mean, most of these traders that you watch on YouTube have very large portfolios. I am not a large portfolio holder, and I understand the small trader, and I understand what it means to trade in a very small account. With a small account, I understand what it means to open to have $50 as your capital and grow it. I've managed to do that in time. There were times I was able to flip 50 into 1,000. It's very possible. I traded short Bitcoin at 69k. I shorted again at 40k, and I'll show you why I shorted at 69k, just as a learning lesson why you would want to short at that level. How would you know 69k is a shorting level? For starters, we were double topping over here. We were wicking, and we broke below the 200. I mean, the EMAs were crossing down. So we had it already. The EMAs just crossed each other here. 8, 13, and 21 crossed over here. That was my signal. So I had entered a bit higher because I could see this toppy formation. I see wicks day by day. It's wicking out. It wasn't good. It was wicking. It wasn't going anywhere. It's trying to push higher, not going anywhere. Volume wasn't that much. And I entered there. Closed it somewhere here when there was a big bounce, probably at 50 something. I thought that that's it. We're going to the moon because everyone is screaming the moon. I did not long it. I think I did not long any of this drop because I had my sight on lower. I did not long any. And possibly if I longed something, maybe for a scalp, but I did not long any. And I doubt I made much money I doubt I lost money off the longs that I did, but you could have made insane gains over here. I mean, the targets are crazy. You could have longed it here at around 32 and made about 46% on this, and you could have longed it over here at this bottom wick and 52. Hey guys, you remember the scam wick that Binance had somewhere around here to 12k? There was a scam wick to 12k. Can we go there? We recently had a scam wick on the BTC USDC pair that went to 50k because the USDC depegged. So are we going to go to 50k first or 12k first? Yeah, I would like to know. Put it in the chat. 50k or 20k. Just type it out. 50k or 20k. So if we are going to go to 50k to recover that scam wick that happened on one exchange, on one pair, USDC pair, are we going to go recover that scam wick that Binance had at 12k? I remember I was watching one of these YouTubers and someone in the chat said that he caught the 12k wick, and I believe it was 12k and we wicked back to, I don't know, was it 40k? I think it was when we were at 40k when we did this on the daily. Do you remember this when we wicked down here? No, it was here. Where was it? Right over here, the 40k range. This was agonizing. This exhausts everyone. Then we came down and this exhausts everyone. Now I want to show you my wave count. We have this wave count. I mean, I have this wave count, Elliott wave count, a projection that I had for months. I know I say months and a long time ago, but I had it for a long time now. I didn't change my projection and my count is going as planned. Targets moved a bit. The wave 4, I did not expect it to go above the 22k. Where's my chart? Come on, there's my chart. I'll remove my trend-based fib time, which reminds me I want to update my trend-based fib time because I know there is some interesting fib time coming. I know I can chart out some interesting fib time. Now let me delete some stuff. Delete. It's easier to turn them off than delete them. Hide drawings. Now let's go. It hides all drawings. I don't want to hide all drawings. There we go. Here. Vertical line, vertical line, vertical line, vertical line. Turn off everything for clarity. This may take days, guys. Okay, we'll go on. Some more vertical lines, vertical line, vertical line, and another vertical line, another vertical line. Now here we go. Switch off my indicator and I'm going to show you my Elliott wave count for this projection. Now we had the move from $69. Everyone knows, everyone and the grandmother knows that this was an A, B and a C down. Everyone knows that. As we say, this was a bullish move up. We had a 1, 2. This can't be a 3 because now if this is a 4, it dumped below. So it was a correction. We had what they call an expanded flat. Expanded flat means this is the A wave. It came down and the B wave came higher than the A wave. That's an expanded flat. And we went, my target is still 10,944. Two of my targets have hit. The 1-to-1 for my C wave. The C wave can come up to the 1.618. 10,944 is possible. On the upside, 29k, 30k is possible. I'm just showing you the charts. And at that zone, we do have a CME gap around $9,000. So that's further confluence. Now, 10,944 is possible. 12k is possible. Very possible. I'll show you some things that people thought isn't possible. Who thought when we were at 43k that, who thought at 40, let's put it here, we were here, 39k or 40k, who thought that within a few days you'll be at 25k? That's $14,000 drop. You had 1, 2, 3, you had 1, 5th of May, 12th of May. In 1 week, who would think you would drop 14k? And it happened here again. Bear flag after bear flag after bear flag. Now, this was a bear flag. It got invalidated. I mean, we dropped a bit, but probably we did not meet the measured move. The measured move would be from up here, the flagpole, and you bring it down here, and then you take that and you bring it to the breakdown of the flag, possibly here. That could take it to 9,000 or 8,396. Now, why I have that, I showed you the C wave can go up to the 1.618. I have a count, and these counts I've done them using fibs, so I am confident about my count. This was my 1 wave, and I did it with fibs. I'm not going to go all over it again. It had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I measured the fibs out. Then I had a wave 2 that came up, not so high, very shallow wave 2. I didn't like it, and if I call it a 4, then I had a 3 wave, a 3rd wave over here. And this was a 1, 2, possibly a 3rd and a 4th and a 5th in a wave A or a wave 1 of the C, and then that makes it even more bearish. Now, this was my wave 3 start, and I came to bottom here, to the bottom here. We retraced above the 0.382, acceptable but very shallow for a wave 4. But it is the ideal point for wave 4. Now, if I change my count, now my count says that this was a 1-2 and we came down in a short 3. Now obviously the 3 is extended, we could go much lower, and I counted this as my 4. But now looking at this 4th wave that we are in, this 4th wave is huge. Now it might change my count and make me bring my 3rd wave even lower, and doing that will bring my 4th wave to the side, and doing that might give me my 5th wave. Sorry, my 3rd wave ended here, and now we are in a 4th wave. It could change my count, and if I do that, that changes the target for the 5th wave. We go way bearish. Now if I say, where was that? I said this was my 3rd. Sorry, my 3rd, the white 3rd started here. How do you measure it? Again, there, fib retracement. No, I want to measure wave 5. I said my 3rd wave started up here, and we came to the 15. Yeah, around there, 15. This is on Bitstamp, so it's not the same as my exchanges. But say we came down here, and we came up here. The target could come to the $6,000 range. You see how bearish we could get. So I prefer following the count that I have, that possibly the 5th wave came, and now we're in the 4th wave in the macro, and we're gonna have a 5th wave down. So my 3rd wave was here, it ended somewhere here, and we're going, yeah, that's the idea. Now DXY, before I go offline, DXY is attempting to break that. We are getting candles above it. We are possibly going to get some volatility before the London close. That will be in about 3 hours, I think, and then we're going to get volatility at the New York close. So yeah, New York is open now. New York is trying to push the DXY higher, and is holding. DXY is holding. DXY on this chart, I need to break this 105.005. On this chart, I'm already on one level of support. One of them is on capital.com, one of them is just a trading view chart. You see this liquidity, we are spiking it. It is highly likely, mark my words, highly likely the DXY is going to see 105 today. Last week's high is looking like a promise. If you were trading this would be a long. Look at that. We have this move. However, you have a lot of tick volume on this, and I'm not liking, and the candle color changed. That tells me that tick volume is slowing down on the DXY. So that might mean opposite of what I'm saying, but I believe we are coming for that 104.746, possibly even the 104.956. If we take the 105 today, that will be very bad for Bitcoin in the market. We need to be mindful of that today. Now I'll look at another indicator to see if we got any long signal on the DXY. On the 1 hourly, nothing. 15 minute, I imagine we got a long signal today, and the 15 minute is still looking bullish. Let's look at the RSI. Any divergences for the DXY? The DXY is forming higher highs. The RSI on the 15 minute is forming the DXY is forming higher highs. The RSI is forming lower highs. That is hidden bearish div. Hidden bearish div could be a continuation on this 15 minute downtrend. Now looking in the hourly, the DXY is forming lower highs. We had bullish divergence here, higher lows and lower lows. That's what pushed the DXY up. At the moment, the DXY, the RSI is not forming any divergence on the hourly. On the 4 hourly, do we have any bearish div? No. On the daily, the DXY doesn't have any bullish div as well, unless, yeah, I can't find. Stop the music. Thanks for telling me. If it's disturbing, I'm gonna I thought it was alright. I'll stop the music, bro. Welcome to the stream, Ahmed Ibrahim. Welcome, my brother. Hope you enjoy the stream. If you do, smash the likes. If you haven't, subscribe to the channel. And if you have any coins you want to take a look at, just let me know and I'll do some TA on them. We could take a look. I've looked at Bitcoin, Solana, the Nasdaq, Dow Jones, the S&P 500, XTZ, EOS coin, many coins. Quantum Litecoin, another coin that has done insane moves, I believe I would like to look at is the HNT. Look at that. We had a nice pump a few days ago on HNT, and we went up about we went up about 138% from the 1st of Jan to the 24th of Jan. That was 24 days. That was a nice pump. And then just on the 15th of Feb, what is this? A daily chart. I want to look at the 4-hourly. Why am I looking at the daily? Yo, Ahmed, where are you from? We have the fixed range volume profile over here. We got rejected at the value area high. This is HNT. I believe it's helium. We have the POC over here where it's a zone of support. If we can't hold the 1.883 over here, then logically using fixed range volume profile, thanks for smashing the likes, we would come down to 1.519. You see, yesterday we came down, we bounced off, and now we're pulling back down. We rejected again. So the value area high is a zone of support, value area low, support, resistance. You know what I'm saying. Now we were able to get support over here. This was very bullish. People looked at it and so it's bullish, it's fair. Technical analysis will tell you you're above the value area high. Look at that. You got a green candle. You got a red candle, green candle. That's telling you we're moving higher. We moved higher. Now, how would you know this is gonna reverse? UK, nice. Been there several times, many times, more than I can count. Many different places as well. I've been to Liverpool, Staines, I've been to Gatwick, I've been to London, I've been to Loughborough, I've been to Middlesex, Staines is in Middlesex, London itself, Barking, I've been all around. Manchester. Anyways, yeah, how would you know over here that this thing is gonna tank? Okay, we would look at this and we would look. This is a 4-hourly. We could go on the 1-hourly. I don't usually take trades on the 4-hourly, but I do my technical analysis on the 4-hourly. Then I trim down on my time frame so I can find the perfect entry. On the 1-hourly, there you go. You would see you came up, hit the 800 EMA, formed this shooting star doji candle. That will just be my signal. As soon as I see that spike up rejection and an 800 EMA or 200 EMA, I would enter it. No questions asked. I would just enter it. I would take the risk. I would play. I'm ready to pay to play because it's all a game. You lose money, you gain money. And if we go to the smaller time frame, go back to the 4-hourly, and you had your fixed range volume profile. I have to scroll out so maybe it loads on this smaller time frame. There you go. You had your, let me try the hour chart. Will I be able to squeeze it in? Perfect. Now fix, oh, that's nice, Sheath. That's nice. I appreciate it. Smash the likes. $75. Great trade, man. Not bad at all. Okay, so we have this 1-hour time frame. You had the 200 EMA, value area high, confluence. You had two things, and probably you could pull a Fibonacci retracement and you'd see you at the 0.382 or 0.236. that would tell you that HNT is going to dump. Unfortunately, I did not trade it. And after that happened, just before it happened, you could see it on the 1 hourly. I would go on the 15 minute, on the 1 minute at this particular time, 14th of March, 8 p.m. So I would go on the 15 minute. If this was happening live, I mean, I'm talking if this was happening as it was, I was watching it as it was happening, I would see this, not much of a rejection. Let me see on the 1 minute, 14th of March, 8 p.m. 14th of March, 6 p.m. Sorry, I would see this. We had a green candle that couldn't continue. Then I would say, okay, 200 EMA, green candle, I'm in. I'm taking the trade. EMAs are breaking down. The 5 and 13 are breaking down. We're crossing below the 50. Of course, here it would be wavy. You'd be afraid that it might pump up. That's how it goes with trading. You get scared. You think you're going to get stopped out. And sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I want to go to Bitcoin, back to Bitcoin again. I want to watch my trade. I have a trade open over here on my phone, unfortunately, and I need to see it on the PC. What is my trade doing? Where am I? Bitcoin is doing the dirty on us today. We came all the way down here, 800 EMA, and bounced off. We're trying to go above the 50 EMA. That's on the 1 minute. Let's see the 15-minute time frame. We are above the 50 EMA. We are holding. EMAs have crossed up. That could be a bullish signal. We had a vector candle over here trying to break the 50, but I will not enter. Why I will not enter? Because I don't want to long into support. That would be a terrible decision. I won't say it's stupid because people do it, and I wouldn't want to call people stupid. I've done it so many times. Yeah, but you would be longing. You could long into support, not knowing it's support. You could be longing into support thinking you're going to do a breakout trade. But yeah, it doesn't always work. Breakout traders yesterday lost money because they expected if you break the 25.8, then you would be going higher. I believe that if you can get above the 25.8, gain support above it on the weekly, that's a 200 EMA at 25K. Now let's go on the weekly chart. On Bitstamp because it has more data. We have the 200 EMA. What was that? We have the 200 EMA over here. The 200 EMA, we're just knocking our heads on it. Look at that. If I bring this indicator, the 200 EMA will be clear. On the side here, you can see the 200 at 24,935 and the 55 at 25,128. If we can break these on the weekly and open and close above them, even on the 4 hourly, but this target, then you could be a bit bullish. But if you cannot, then there's nothing to be bullish about until you reclaim these highs as support. That's simple trading. You will not get a moonshot, just one candle. You may not get a retracement as you like it, a deep retracement to the 0.5, 0.618, because as you see on our way up, we were not getting that retracement. We were getting 0.236, 0.382 retracements on smaller time frames. So sometimes you don't get a pullback as you would like to be able to enter the trade, but I'm telling you, watch that level. Those targets that I mentioned, if you are able to get above them and gain support, then it could be a move to the upside. All right, that's it for my TA for today. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And if you really like to support the channel, the link is in the channel description and in the video description. It will take you to a secured site, PayPal, where you could donate any amount you wish. It can be any amount you could put down. Any support is appreciated. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for the likes, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.